Theodore, I
So is
think you
that
can. Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this session tonight. Today, we're taking it a bit further from where we ended the last time. And today, we're taking a very drastic step forward in discussing this timely uh, message. I'll call it a message because if we get this right today, then our growth has nothing to stop it, and we will have no limit. We'll become unlimited because by the time you know to the keys to engage to become a better version of yourself, then you become unstoppable. So I'm so glad, especially for today, what we're about looking at, becoming the journey of growth and evolution. And one of our seasoned speaker, Mr. Kunle, has agreed to do this with us tonight. And we can't wait to dive into this and learn and relearn and learn again and again. So I especially welcome you to this session. And I believe that by the end of this session, your take home will serve you not only for today, will serve you in the years to come and also in the nearest future. And you also use this as a yardstick to raise other generations. This is a topic not to forget in a hurry. So without much ado, I'd like to welcome one of us, our beloved Mr. Kunle Alatubosun. Thank you so much for agreeing to do this today. Thank you. I know you're very busy. Out of your busy schedule, you've coined out this specific time to take us through this session. So please, let's welcome our dear one with emojis from the on the session as I hand over the virtual microphone. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you, sir.
okay? Good evening. I welcome you to this section, and I want to thank Coach Samuel for this unique opportunity. I also want to thank you all for showing up consistently every fortnight. Tidera did an excellent job on AI for productivity, personal branding, and online presence optimization 2 weeks ago. The benefits of all this is transformation to better versions of ourselves. I'll be sharing my thoughts on becoming the journey of growth and evolution. Becoming is a journey, it is not a destination. What does it mean to become? Becoming means constant evolution or growth, which is a continuous process. You cannot become if you are static or if you're on the same spot or in the same position. It is a continuous process. And we see this in nature, we see this in life, we see this in sports, and we see it in career. In nature, butterflies go through a four-stage transformation from the egg to the caterpillar to the chrysalis and then the adult butterfly. This cycle takes about a month to 2 months, depending on the species. In life, a boy becomes a man, then he becomes a husband, then he becomes a father, then he becomes a grandfather, and if he lives long enough, he becomes a grandfather, a great grandfather. In sports, some top English football academies have trained young players to become elite football players. Some notable examples are Bukayo Saka, for those of us who follow the Premier League. Bukayo Saka was in the Arsenal Football Club Academy. He has become a key player of both Arsenal and the England national team. Another player is Cole Palmer. Cole Palmer was in Manchester City Football Academy. He has become a key player of Chelsea and also the English national team. Phil Foden is another example. He was in Manchester City Football Academy. He has become a key player for Manchester City and also in the national team, in the English national team. Marcus Rashford, very popular footballer, Manchester United footballer. He was also in Manchester United Football Academy. He has also become a key player of both Manchester United Football Club and the England national team. There are other examples, but I believe these four are enough for these sessions. If you look at the slide, you can see in career also, career is not left out. A learner becomes a subject matter expert. You learn to become certified. A BSc accounting graduate can become a chartered accountant with the ACA designation. After 10 years, it becomes FCA, a fellow of chartered accountants. The same thing applies to the banking profession. You can have your degree in any discipline and work in a bank. You can be a chartered banker with the ACIB certification. Of course, you need to take some exams. And after 10 years, you also become FCIB, a fellow of Chartered Institute of Bankers. You can see this progression also applies to other professions like stockbroking, insurance, and other professions. The pharmacists also do their own exams, and even the medical doctors specialize. So they become specialists, they become consultants. So you see consultant gynecologists, you see consultant oncologists. The common theme, when you look at the slide, the common theme in nature, in life, in sports and career is constant evolution or growth. You cannot become without growth. In other words, growth is a prerequisite for becoming. If you must become, then you must grow. There are three phases to becoming. The first phase is awareness. Where are you now on the journey to becoming? What is the current state if you must have a future state? For example, become wealthy. Where are you on the wealth journey? What is your present net worth in terms of convertible assets that are liquid or near liquid? To become a better husband, a better father, how is your relationship now? What is the current state if you must get better? So you need to have a vision to become. It is not by happenstance. You need to be aware of your mindset. You need to be aware of your beliefs, and you need to be aware of your habits. Your mindset shapes your thinking. Do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? Do you have an abundance mindset or a scarcity mindset? Do you have a positive mindset or a negative mindset? These are questions that we all need to answer. You cannot become what you want with a negative or a fixed mindset. Your mindset has to be a growth mindset, a positive mindset, if you must become. Closely related to mindsets are your beliefs. Are your beliefs empowering or limiting beliefs? Empowering beliefs are positive, constructive convictions that expand your potential. They drive your personal growth and open up new possibilities. Limiting beliefs, on the other hand, are false assumptions or negative stories we hold about ourselves, our abilities that we accept as absolute truth. These mental barriers restrict our potential. They stop us from trying new things and prevent us from becoming what we want. We must release old habits and limiting beliefs for us to become. Habits are routine behavior that you repeat often and over time. You do them almost without thinking. We brush our teeth and take our bath before going to work every day, every morning. That's become our habit. We need to build habits that are focused on becoming. These habits entails a focus from what we want to achieve to what we want to be. That is, we must shift our focus from what we want to achieve to what we want to be. For example, you want to run a marathon. Your focus will not be, I want to run a marathon, but your focus will be, I want to be a runner. So it is not what you want to get or what you want to achieve, but rather what you want to be. The second phase of becoming is growth or action. Action is the main engine of becoming. You cannot become without taking action. It's just not possible. While thoughts and dreams may map out a potential future, it is the deliberate steps and actions that give that vision a physical form. You do not grow into a new version of yourself by intention alone. You forge that identity through daily practice and execution. It is not just intention alone, but by deliberate action. We've all had the saying that if wishes were horses, beggars would ride. To become a better husband or father, you must take certain actions. To become wealthy, you must take certain actions. To become more spiritual, you must take certain actions. You do not become by accident. You must take action. A pertinent question to ask ourselves this evening is, what actions are we taking to become better versions of ourselves? We need to reflect on this. What actions are we taking to become better versions of ourselves? What actions do I need to take to become healthier? What actions do I need to take to become wealthier? What actions do I need to take to become spiritual? What actions do I need to become skillful in some areas of my life? These are questions that demand some introspection And of course, we need to take action. Have we heard about Steve Curry? Have we heard about Steve Curry? Does anybody know that name, Steve Curry? Steve Curry. Okay. Steve Curry is an American basketball player who plays for the Golden State Warriors. That's a basketball team in the US. He's a four-time NBA champion. He's a two-time NBA Most Valuable Player. Call them MVP. He's a NBA Finals MVP. He's also a two-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, Most Valuable Player. Guess what? He was considered short in height to play in the American National Basketball Association because of his height. So how did he achieve all these accolades? How did he achieve all these awards? He became a four-time NBA champion. Another award that he got by taking 500 basketball shots every day. That translates to 3,500 shots every week and 15,000 shots every month. In fact, it is believed that if you blindfold Steve Curry and you ask him to take a shot from a particular position, he will still get the basket. He will still get the points. He is that good. But he did not just become that. He became that by the actions he took. And of course, it is easy to just sit down, but no, he stood up every day. He embraced discomfort. Everybody wants to sit down, everybody wants to relax, everyone wants to chill. But he embraced discomfort. Are we willing to embrace discomfort to become? Remember, 500 shots every day, 3,500 every week, 15,000 shots every month. No wonder he became the most valuable player in the NBA for several years. He took action to become what he is today. Again, I ask, what actions will you take to become? Another fellow I want us to talk about is Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is the most decorated Olympian alive today with 28 Olympic medals, which he garnered over four Olympic Games. How did he become the most decorated Olympian alive today? He took action, massive action. He trains 5 to 6 hours daily, swimming roughly 13 kilometers. He does this 6 to 7 days a week, including Sundays. Michael Phelps swims 13 kilometers every day. When I thought about this, do I walk 13 kilometers? Not talk of swimming, swimming 13 kilometers. No wonder he is the most decorated Olympian alive today with 28 medals. His training season are split into morning and afternoon blocks. But in total, he spends between 5 to 6 hours in water daily, just for the morning and the afternoon. artisan, owning his craft. The question again is, what actions do you want to take to become? You don't become by chance. You don't become by luck. You don't become by happenstance. You must take action. To become, we must act with intention. We must act with purpose. We must also stay consistent. We must embrace discomfort, like I said earlier on, and learn from setbacks. We don't give up. The story of Steve Curry and Michael Phelps that I just shared exemplify what is on this slide. They took small choices and they repeated it daily. So can we, in order for us to become. The third and final phase to becoming is transformation or manifestation. At this phase, you have become because of your unique identity. Your positive and empowering mindsets, the actions you took, and the results that you produce. It is the inner change that leads to the outer change, which is obvious to all that you have become. A better person. It's obvious to all that you have become a better parent. It's obvious that you have become more spiritual, or you have become a better drummer, or a better guitarist, or a better saxophonist. It's at this stage, it is obvious, it's showing. In fact, you are already manifesting. That is what the third phase is all about. The limitations to becoming are the ones we set in our minds. And those are the limiting beliefs I mentioned earlier. So the limitations to us becoming are the ones we set in our minds. Who will you decide to become today? It starts with a choice, and every day offers a fresh chance to learn, to unlearn, to grow, and repeat actions that takes you closer to becoming who you want to be. You learn self-awareness, you learn emotional self-control. What do you unlearn? You unlearn fears, you unlearn doubts, you unlearn expectations from others, and you unlearn old beliefs that it is not possible. You grow in your mindset, you grow in your habits, you grow in your skills, you grow in emotional strength, and you also grow in your relationships. These are the core areas that shape your daily actions and align your current self with your future vision. Nothing is impossible to becoming who you want to be. And believing this alone helps you grow. Nothing, let me repeat, nothing is impossible to becoming who you want to be. And becoming this helps you to grow. This mindset allows you to set big goals, to set audacious goals, and work hard every day to change your life. And life often reflects what we put into it. There's a common saying, I think it's accredited to Michelangelo, that the danger is not that we set high goals and miss it, but we set low goals and achieve it. So my charge was this evening is that let us keep showing up and let us keep on paying the price to become the person you always wanted to be through repeated actions. Thank you very much. So, sorry, just a minute.
Hey,
All right then.
thank
Sorry.
you.
Yes, sorry, I had to reduce the volume on the other phone. Yes, so like I said, we need to keep showing up. We need to keep paying the price to become the person we always wanted to be through repeated actions. We must take action if we are to become. I've shared several stories this evening, just to motivate us, to encourage us that it is possible. I don't know if we have any questions. I set the time for 30 minutes and I spent exactly 27 minutes. So any questions?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. So please, if you have any question, can you, based on what Mr. Kunle has discussed with us so far, has taught us, can you kindly drop your question in the chat box or unmute and ask quickly? Thank you. If you can't share, you can drop it on the chat box. If you have any question. Okay, I'm not seeing anything presently. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for,
The pleasure is
yeah.
mine. I think Terry can stop recording now.
Okay, I will just share a bit, just to crown it up with what you have shared with us today. In
Okay.
fact, I have my note full here from what you have taught us. Phase 1, awareness. Phase 2, growth, which can invariably action. And phase 3, transformation, which has to do with manifestation. Just to add to what you have shared with us, I'd like us to also know that when we are talking about becoming, we are invariably saying, what do you want to be remembered for, or what do you want to be known for? I have this analogy that I share with some of my colleagues that at the end of one's journey, just for example, I've never seen any obituary or any tribute written anywhere, and you begin to hear that as part of the person's tribute, he owns 5 houses in Banana Island. He owns three uh three whatever, owns this type of color of vehicles and this and that. What usually comes to mind or what is usually recorded are the impact that such made in the lives of people. And that's why first and foremost, we are reiterating today that becoming is not only what you can amass to yourself, but becoming is changing from where you are presently to where you have ordained for yourself or you have assigned yourself to be. The last time I shared an example of the difference between a millionaire and a billionaire, or the difference between a millionaire and a multi-millionaire. First and foremost is in the mindset, and second is how they have given into becoming, changing, learning, unlearning from one level to the other. There is something a billionaire is doing that a multimillionaire is not yet at that pace, from the level of knowledge, from the level of dedication to their various kind of achievement and investments here and there. There is definitely something that the billionaire is doing that the millionaire is not doing. That's why their classes are different. For instance, now, somebody that is in Canada has 7 hours ahead of Nigeria, for instance. So that particular, gap, that is how it is also in knowledge. That's how it is in academic. That's how it is in life. So in a bid to become, we must understand that we must give up our present position, our present level, so that we can reach to the next level. And as it has been shared with us, we must also leave our comfort zone. We cannot become still remaining where we are. It was TDJ that said, you cannot be where you are and where you want to be at the same time. You cannot be where you are currently and where you want to be at the same time. So these are things that stood out for me today. I'd like you to also know that you are always becoming something. But the question is whether you are becoming intentional or accidental. The question is whether you are becoming intentional, whether you are intentionally becoming what you are becoming, or it's accidental. Because whether we like it or not, we are becoming something. We are becoming something. The level where you are today, this was not the level you were 10 years ago. This was not the level you were 20 years ago. This was not the level you were when you were in primary school, when you are in secondary school, having aspirations, all manner of dreams. But today, over time, you have evolved. You have changed by whether learning or unlearning in one way or the other. You have become the kind of person you are now because you have either intentionally grown to this level or you have lived by accidents. But the best way to live is to live by intention, is to live intentionally, and is to live by becoming what you have ordained or what you have assigned yourself to be. So the journey of becoming never truly ends because every new level of life will demand a new level of growth. And that is what has been shared with us today. And I'd like to thank you, sir, Mr. Kunle, for taking out the time to share with us. So I would still also like to ask in case we have any question before we end the recording. Don't want this session to be too long today. You have any question or any addition, comment, question, addition from what have been shared today, becoming? What does it mean for you when we talk about becoming? What do you think about it? What is your thought on becoming? So can somebody, you can add to it just the way I did, or you can ask a question, or you can seek for further clarification based on what has been taught. Do we have anybody that want to speak? I want to unmute and speak. Do you have anybody like that? Any question? Any comment? Any addition? Or any subtraction? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. I think we can end the recording right now.
Okay, thank you, Coach Samuel.
Yes, we are so grateful, sir. Thanks for coming in and for sharing with us tonight. Thank you so much. Also want to thank your beloved one for joining us all the way from Canada. Thank you for being here. Thank you everyone for joining us. And those who are still on the platform, in the coming week, we have some videos to watch and to share our thoughts about those videos. They are quite inspiring. Is to also challenge our understanding of this particular subject and the ones we have been learning since. So congratulations, and I want to say that going into the next month of September, it holds a lot of engagement for us. So see you at the topmost top, and God bless us all. So, Theodora, can you please end stop the recording? Are you there? Can you stop the recording? Okay, sir, your final thought for us on this subject. Your final thought for us, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Coach Samuel. I've mentioned it just to reiterate. Uh, it's a personal journey. You must set goals. You must take actions. You cannot become what you don't want. Like the phases, you start with the awareness. Where are you now? What is the current state? And what is the desired future? It's like two bridges. How do I cross to that bridge? And you can see in the second phase, it talks about action. We must take action if we must become. If we want to become a better, for example, we want to become the example that really comes to mind now is we want to become wealthy. What action do you need to take? It's not by sweating and struggling. No, there are some vehicles for wealth creation. You must take action to become. If you want to become a better parent, you don't wish it. You must take action. So if there's any words or anything where I want us to live tonight with is we must be, of course, with purpose, we must be action oriented. With purpose, we just must take action to become. Thank you very much.
Yes, you're most welcome, sir. So we must take action to become that which we have designed ourselves to become. Thank you so much, sir, for all that you have taught us today. Thank you very much. Theodora, please, if you can hear me, can we end the recording, please?